Welcome back to the Cleveland Artist Series in Cincinnati. I'm Matter.
My name is Max.
And we're here with the Paper Earth. Woo! Woo, woo, woo! What's up, boys?
Let's do a quick introduction of everybody before we get started.
Please.
I'm Tommy.
I'm Sam.
I'm CJ.
Zach.
PJ.
They're the Paper Earth! Hey! What's up? We just came back from a show, seeing these guys play out. Where'd you play at tonight? What's that place called?
The Southgate House Revival.
Very cool.
Southgate
Very cool.
House.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We love that place.
It's like a reconditioned, what do you call it? Refurbished church,
Rehabilitated
right?
church.
Rehabilitated church. Yeah, that was a sick show. Played with Draven and the Ravens, also killing it.
We met Paper Earth a few weeks ago. They were playing a show in Cleveland, the best city in Ohio. And we had a really good time hanging out with them, and so we decided to bring them on the pod. I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit. I'm just going to hop into it.
Yeah, please.
About your guys' songwriting process. So we were listening to your album again today. We just saw them play again at the show. But you guys have such a wide range of songs. You guys have everywhere from like grunge to alternative rock to sometimes where it feels very like bluesy. I just want to know about where you guys come up with like your concepts and your composing and your songwriting, kind of who takes that and what do you guys do?
I think it's like a mix of everybody. I feel like even sometimes we'll have a song where we're like, yeah, this is a new song, when it's really just like 5 different like chord progressions that each of these dudes have came up with, and then we'll like narrow it down to like a few of them, and then we'll cut that in half and make that halftime and change this to that, and then it just creates a sound. I feel like all of our songs really come like it sounds dumb, but like it comes very natural. It's never forced, you know, at least most of the time.
I think a lot of it comes from like different times too, like because this shit started with a basically entirely different lineup in freshman year of high school, and a lot of the ideas for the songs began there. So
Gotcha.
That's why there's such a wide variety of things, because it also spans a large amount of time.
Yeah, they pretty much hopped on songs that we had written for like 5 years, which makes them badass. Like,
Let's go back to you said they, like, so where did the band start? Is there like a core membership to it, or did you guys all start it together?
PJ.
I guess I started the band.
All right.
But really, the band didn't come together until I had CJ and Zach. And I had Zach first, and CJ filled in one time for a show. And I was like, yeah, CJ just
the best
needs to be
bassist
around
this band has
forever.
ever seen.
Yeah. So we had a thing for a while, and then we kind of broke up. And then I was like, what if we did it again, but this time with different people? And then we found Tommy and Sam. And
Well,
All right.
we did it like
That's where
twice
we've been
before
at.
that with other people, and it sucked. But now we're,
Now we're solid. We're like a big machine.
a well-oiled machine, too.
something like that. They're lubed up.
Lubed up?
Lubed
You
up.
guys are lubed up
Correct.
before every show. But no, so you started in high school, reformed, got back together now. Talk about the album. You know, when did that start coming together? I know you're working on another album now, or at least a few singles going towards that. You know, again, just talk about where it came from. Like you said, a bunch of different influences. I particularly like Doomworm and the Doom Rock influences coming in there.
Yeah.
But obviously a lot of different things. I really enjoy Zach as a drummer. There's a couple times where one thing I think you got, obviously he's an incredible drummer. Check him out, all of you watching. But there's something that you do multiple times on the album that I think is an old school rock thing that people have lost over time, which is just to speed up the song. Like, you just play in one tempo and then start speeding up the song, and everybody builds up with them. And there's so much energy of that.
We stopped tracking on a metronome.
we
Yeah.
told our producer to turn it the fuck off
Yeah.
at some point,
Yeah.
because it sounded more like us, and we had it off. Like that's a conscious decision for sure.
Hell yeah. Well, you can feel it. There's like a rawness to it. There's like a shoegaziness to it, but also like, yeah, you can just feel that it's you know, you're doing it all together live, you know.
Appreciate that. Very sweet of you.
Solid
Thank
shit.
you. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so how'd the album come together?
Most of the songs existed for quite a while beforehand. It was stuff me, Zach, and Peach worked on forever, and never really like did anything with it. And then when we added these guys, it was like we've said it before, like it was like lighting a fire under our asses. They had brought 100 new things and new motivation and shit. We finished the songs and we're really happy with what it was. But the next album's what we're really excited for at this point. Like it's from Ground Zero, All of Us, and it sounds way more like the Paper Earth, in my opinion.
Yeah, so again, like part of the range with your guys' songs, I noticed that I think in the album, one of the ones that stands out to me the most is Cardiac as being like the biggest difference of everything else. And again, I really like it too because it's one of the ones I found is more like bluesy or almost jazzy too sometimes with the way you guys are doing it. But again, it's also the longest one. It's like 4:30 and the rest are like 3 minutes or under. So like where does that come from with like trying to go a little further out with that one?
That's PJ's baby.
The answer is the same as PJ.
I started working on Cardiac like literally like probably freshman year of high school. Wow. And I probably pitched it to Paper Earth like 2 or 3 different times. And every time we pitched it, we were like, nah, fuck that shit. And then we decided to like actually make it a thing. And after we made it a thing, we'd never played it live, but we put it on the album. And we played it live probably like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
It didn't hit at the house.
If there's a song we don't play in practice, it's
that
one.
Yeah. That was also like most of the lyrics for a lot of things. I like even if there were old lyrics, I would just rewrite them from scratch. But Cardiac basically in most parts trades lines between shit that PJ wrote and shit that I wrote, like stuff that he had already had. So I could tell he had been working for a long time on that one.
And I think Jordan had a few lines in there as well.
Really? Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, part of the chorus, I think, or something like that. I don't know.
Took a different path than every other song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still a fun song.
Yeah. It just, I feel like it drags anytime we play it.
Yeah, I can see how it wouldn't play into the live show as much because it is so different, because it is a little bit slower, whereas you're trying to maximize energy. Speaking of maximizing energy, the second to last song you guys played tonight, it's a new song.
Pleather. Yeah, that one's solid.
That song,
Love that one.
Single. I think that's the first single that's coming out for sure.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that one went so hard and just brought the energy. I mean, the energy was already up, but that brought the energy, way up. I mean, I was headbanging during that one, So talk about the new songs. Like, again, like you said, you feel like it feels a lot more Paper Earth. Is that because you're writing them together instead of like it's a PJ part that then people build on or whatever?
Yeah. We've also both improved so much as instruments or as musicians. I think that it shows.
No, we are instruments.
We are instruments. Holy shit. Pleather is one that I kind of like introduced to the band, and I don't know. I was just like playing around, like playing with like feedback and shit with my like interface, and I wrote this riff, and I thought it was sick. So I'm like, yo guys, check this shit out.
And sometimes I feel like when you're at practice showing riffs, they get drowned out because everybody's just playing their own fucking shit. So I remember
Zach
Tommy played that, and I was
stopped,
like, dude, everybody fucking stop and listen to this. This is so cool. And then
You get one to bleed through.
Yeah.
When you get one to bleed through, it's usually pretty awesome.
Yeah, straight up.
Hell yeah. I do have a question. Me and Matt were talking about this earlier today. At the beginning of the song "Their Girl," does someone just say the word balls?
Yes.
That's Sam.
I am so glad that we were right, because I was like, dude, did he just say balls?
We
at the
were
beginning of the
shouting
song?
tonight at the show. We were shouting before this all started. We were going, balls! Say balls!
I just got to know.
Literally, one of you on stage said, how does Their Girl start again? And me and Max in the audience went, it starts with balls!
Bro, if you listen close, it's just Sam taking a rip off of a babe and going balls.
Yeah.
We didn't cut any of the bullshit. Tommy giggles at the end of it. Sam
Yeah.
hits his
Yeah.
vape.
Yeah,
That's the rawest.
We had
song
I'd say we had a lot of fun recording that, because we also just got like the dude recording our shit, his friend, like anyone we could find, we would get them in the booth for when you go during the chorus.
Yeah.
So there's just a bunch of random people.
There's like 10
on that
people in the
song.
booth for the chorus of that song. If you listen close.
Definitely out of tune. I think he did something with that shit to make it sound a little better, because I definitely there's no way we're all into it.
I told him I was like, hey, I won't ask you this anywhere else on the album. Like Melodyne this shit. Like just pitch correct it a little bit.
This shit.
Nobody's gonna notice.
There is something to be said about once you have enough group vocals, though, it all kind of evens out in the wash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, you just don't kind of notice it.
No, it was bad.
We weren't recruiting
so
singers
bad.
though. We were recruiting whoever the fuck was directly in front of us. Yeah.
Yeah. Like we took a listen to it, and then like someone else hopped on and like, okay, it's getting better. Okay. Hopefully it doesn't sound like a bunch of guys that can't sing other than Sam going,
I love that.
So you guys are sadly not from Cleveland. But
Sadly.
no. You guys all grew up around here though, right? You grew up around near Cincinnati. I mean, you went to high school
Yeah.
together, a lot of you.
For sure.
So yeah, where around here did you grow up, and how did that influence obviously your music tastes that go into this? Like what bands from here, or just the types of music that you were exposed to because of living here, went into what you became? You know.
I don't know what I was exposed to because I lived here. I was exposed to a lot of shit because of my brother, and that like would have happened wherever I live, but that influenced a lot of things. And then, I mean, we all grew up in the same place, so I would say
True.
the interactions we had and shit, we would influence each other. Like CJ showed me a lot of music when I met him
Anderson.
in like middle school.
Anderson.
Yeah.
Anderson's fucking
Yeah.
boring.
Yeah.
True. It's a bubble. A bubble people never
It's why
leave.
we're
Yeah.
a punk band. It's very, small town, pissed off type shit.
It's a town
Yeah.
so
A lot of Christian people.
a town
down
so
Fits.
a town so
Fits.
boring it makes you into a punk band.
Right.
Hell yeah.
I feel
We had to change our high school's mascot because it was the Redskins for a while.
Yeah.
And
Like,
thank God they finally changed it.
For
but
real.
the Raptors,
Go Raptors.
go Raptors. But
Go
also,
Raptors, go Raptors.
I
Go
feel like they
Raptors.
could have picked such a better name than the Raptors.
The Anderson football team.
Yeah.
Still
Shout
bad.
out Coach Dreyer. I've got PTSD
Yeah.
from you.
I just like watching people. I like watching people like fight over that. So it's like seeing like grown ass adults in tears, so invested over high school sports teams, just kind of made me. I'm like, at least I'll never be like that. No matter how bad.
Can I ask you a question about that?
Endearment.
Was that
Guys.
Was that truly something like where you grew up? There were people who were so invested in
yeah,
high school
for real.
teams.
Dude, I remember
Yeah.
I was in South Carolina with my family, and we were all drunk as shit. And my brother like wrote an enraged email to on the school board.
Jeez.
So, like,
Dude.
No wonder you became a punk band.
yeah, no, it was funny. There
like
people are silly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we're influenced by a lot of people.
The small town becomes your whole world, you know, and you just
True.
you start tweaking out, genuinely tweaking out.
Yeah, I feel like it becomes such an echo chamber and such a like little gossip bubble that you're just like, oof, no thank you, you know.
Do you think you will one day be at your kids' punk shows fighting the openers' parents?
So
Yeah.
I hope so.
I'm glad.
I ain't having kids.
I
I want
see
to beat
that
up
in
a
your-
middle-aged man.
I want to beat up a kid.
Let's clip that.
I did want to ask again, just about bringing it back to the songs. Mel, I do have questions about Mel. I really love that song. I feel like it's such a vibe. It's such a catchy one. But I was like halfway through it, I was like, is this about a dog or is this about a girl?
Yes.
Because it could be about either.
It's about a dog.
It's actually about a homeless person.
We don't know.
Could be so many things, but
He wrote it.
yeah, Sam, take it away.
Mel's about a dog that is like, it's a homeless dog, you know. And
Mel is us.
the dog becomes so destitute that it begins to like feed on the flesh of humans, and it like gives it sort of a power trip, you know, like that's the first time that Mel feels powerful.
That's why Mel's going to hell. I mean, it obviously makes
yeah.
sense. It obviously makes
And
sense.
also, shout out
I wish
M. She
Mel, I
painted-
wish
she
you
painted the
well.
cover.
I wish you well for pulling
painted
you
the
out of
cover.
your for you pulling yourself out of your bad situation, but also go to
Offscreen.
hell because you consume humans and other dogs.
Well, again, I was not expecting that about the song. I really thought it was an ex-girlfriend song, but I like to know that it's about a homeless dog. Do you know what happened to that homeless dog? Is she okay?
Oh, they're fine.
It'll probably work out. I will say
They went
about
to
Mel,
hell.
Yeah.
we wrote that riff in like probably like freshman or sophomore year in the basement of one of our buddies' houses, and I was playing on a guitar that had 3 strings on it. And so I could only play power chords, and that's how I wrote the riff for Mel. And then we didn't do anything with it for years, and then it became a single after we like actually started working on it.
The original song, no joke, like 8 years ago, was 3 power chords and rambling about a dog on heroin.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in some ways
it's
nothing has
evolved,
changed.
bro.
It has evolved.
The
It
Mel of
has a
the modern
solo
day
now.
could theoretically be on heroin. There's no way for any of us
Yeah.
to know.
On Trank, whatever.
It's train.
my
A trucker
God.
train.
Poor Mel. All right, what's your favorite venue you guys play around here? That's something I like to ask too. Or what are just some cool venues you like to play around here? They can
Legend
shout
is
out.
pretty sick.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Yeah.
Peace.
Their roof is caving in.
You know what I miss? The fucking tape house.
Is Rest in Peace a venue, or are you saying Rest in Peace to
No,
the
the
venue?
Legends ceiling
Yeah,
collapsed.
the ceiling of the
It's gone.
Legends Bar and venue collapsed.
I think my favorite venues are house venues, honestly.
Yeah.
People that are
I
willing to
miss
just
the
give up their
bungalow.
home
That was my
for an
favorite.
evening.
The tape
Bungalow
house.
was good.
It's
dude.
hard because a lot of like the house show venues are very temporal. You know, a lot of my favorite ones are gone. They're gone forever.
They come and go.
They
do
pop
come
up
and
for
go.
like a
For
year
sure.
and then they're
Yeah.
gone, and yeah.
I'd say the Pit, I guess. The Pit was like where I started out
Which
going to house shows here. The Pit on Wheeler. And they like,
Yeah.
despite getting shut down and like having multiple different people living there, they're still doing shows to this day. I started going and seeing shows there like 3+ years ago.
So, what are some of the names of all the house venues that pop up and pop down?
The
There
Pit,
was the clit. Yeah.
The tape
Dungeon.
house, bungalow. What else? Do we
Crypt,
play? Crypt.
Dungeon,
The jungle.
The basement, I think, was legitimately
the
one.
basement.
It's just dirty. Like
The motel.
Yeah, the motel.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
motel.
there's definitely some.
The
There's definitely some
swamp?
bangers we're missing.
Yeah, the,
The
swamp.
swamp, yeah,
the
the
jungle.
swamp.
The swamp. The
Actually.
jungle.
The jungle's still operational.
The jungle. Yeah, the
Yeah.
jungle
Crystal
is.
Cove.
The jungle is like.
Oh, yeah,
mostly
Crystal
EDM,
Cove.
like rave events now.
How are
Crystal
there
Cove.
this many of them? That's
The
an
scene's
insane
popping.
amount.
Yeah, the scene is popping,
I was
and it's
gonna
like
say-
people who originally would have like been going and just throwing house parties now realize like you can just get some artists on there and it will pull like a bigger crowd. Like that shit gets fucking crazy. It overflows on the streets.
But again, this also isn't something going on everywhere. Like, this is, again, what brings you guys this, like, kind of, like, unique inspiration of, like, Cincinnati. Because, like, this type of stuff isn't just going on everywhere.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see this happen.
We've
I
been-
left here and I
Through
came
it.
back here.
We've been traveling more and more, like as a band, going to get shows and shit, and we get a cool opportunity to recognize just how much Cincinnati like takes this shit. Like other scenes just do not do it like we do. Like the pool and everything is just not the same. Like,
Mhm.
it's pretty badass. I love
Oh,
it
yeah.
here.
No, yeah, we've been in Cincinnati, and I love it. Second best city in Ohio. That's what I say.
Behind what exactly?
Go ahead.
Behind Athens.
Okay.
All right, let's. Cincinnati, third best city in
Would you
Ohio.
live in
Athens, Cleveland?
Would you live in
Cincinnati.
Athens, Tommy? Yeah, fuck that.
If you were,
little bit too crusty to live in.
yeah, fair.
You heard it here, folks.
Clifton?
Yes.
Yeah, even just being there for a night is.
They don't know
The
that.
last time I was in Athens, I like lost my faith in humanity.
They don't know
when
they're
I was out that
oppressed.
night. I almost got into multiple fights, and that's like uncharacteristic of me. But I was just like, I was just upset at the world that night. Oh, Athens.
All right.
Go get a hot nut.
Excuse.
In Athens.
Okay. Good to know. Thank you, Tommy. Before we move on to our final segment of the interview, I do
Yeah.
have one question.
Wait,
for
I
you
want to
guys.
ask. I just want to ask a question. PJ had a fucking question earlier that was so insane that I just want to hear all of our opinions on it. Will you please say it?
Yeah. Okay, so my question was, how many kids do you think you could take on if you have a bat and they have on helmets?
So like what?
What kind of bat?
Like on average, what do you think you could take out? You know.
Solid
Slugger
50
kind
to
of.
100.
So like center mass is like the goal, right?
Yeah,
I'd say around 50 is where I'd start to like seriously doubt what I'm doing
I'd
and like
get-
judge my own morals. Yeah, and
I think
I
I'd
would
get
get
one
that at that
psychological
point.
would
But
get
if I was able to rid myself of my like human emotions, I could probably get up like to 500.
Once
Sorry, you think you could take on 500 kids
Yes.
before your body gave out?
How
They're 8 to 10.
8. 10 of them, maybe.
All of them.
Sam,
can't
I
take out
doubt you
every
could
kid.
swing a bat 500 times in a row.
Dude,
okay?
all I do
And
listen,
crack
I work-
spines?
Listen, I work in a fucking factory heat pressing soccer jerseys. All I do is like push down a heavy heat press all day with my. All I do is build the
It's
strength in my
equivalent to
right
working
arm.
in
This is
training
what I've been
field.
preparing for
They're
for the last
wearing
year.
helmets.
He's
gets
already
paid to
imagining
fight kids with
8-year-olds
a bat.
every time.
See, once you break the bat on one of the kids' helmets and it becomes like a stabbing implement, I think I could fuck up. Yeah.
You're going right
I-
Paper Earth
yeah.
stabs children.
I can get
I
with
could
that.
probably stab a good 200.
200.
Yeah, 200.
Wait, wait, wait.
Selling yourself short. Tom.
Sam already said he could take 500 out, and you think with a knife you could only take 200?
I mean, it's gonna get dull at some point. You're gonna have too many like.
When did we say anything about a knife?
He broke the bat.
We
in
talked
half.
about breaking the bat into a stabbing implement. Obviously.
Moving
You gotta
on.
keep up.
All right, we
I
want to
have
move
one
on.
Final question before our last
Oh,
segment.
all right, yeah,
Unless
yeah.
Matt has got one too.
No, you do it, and then we'll do
I
our
would
final
just like
segment.
the band real quick to explain what the hole is.
Oh, please talk about the hole.
The hole is my shower, and so in my room I've got a shower that you've got to step 2.5 feet into it.
You have to crawl out of it when you're done
Bro.
showering.
2.5.
Yeah,
That's
you've
the
got to
best
like
part,
step
dude.
down into the shower.
Pose a picture of it
It's-
or something during
yeah.
this part. Like,
Oh, trust me,
Yeah.
we'll have a picture. We'll probably take like cool angles of it. You know, we'll do some
Yeah.
slow mo.
You gotta get some good footage.
We'll get some
I'll go
sexy
model
footage of
it
the
for
hole. Ooh, that we can get that too.
that's the album cover. If you didn't notice,
It is. Yeah.
That's partially why we wanted to bring it up. It's also on the shirts.
Love
Yes.
It is, yeah.
Love it.
Which you can buy on our website, thepaperearth.com.
Okay, wait. Well, I actually do have one more question before the final segment. I snuck in one. Why the Paper Earth? Why is that the name of the band? Where'd that come from?
I don't know.
Ask
I don't
PJ,
remember.
man. I don't know.
I don't remember he made the band.
I came up with it from like an trip, like a different view of looking at the world, and that was pretty much
Kind of
it.
like a ski. You thought you were riding on a water ski or something?
Pod racing.
I was so fucking high in PJ's bed. I thought it was pod racing. I was grabbing the sheets and like,
steering.
is it exciting night?
It hadn't hit me yet, and I just watched CJ like play with my bed sheets with his eyes closed and
Yeah.
giggling.
And you're
I
like,
was so
wow.
fucking scared.
You're
That's the
like,
paper
wow, this
earth.
earth is so paper, and at any point
Yeah.
it could all just crumble away into nothing.
Yeah.
That's
why we made
it.
Love it.
It's deep, man. It goes deep.
Go deeper.
All right, Max, you want to do your
Yeah,
special segment?
guys, we like to close out every Cleveland Artist Series interview with Max's Questions Corner.
All right.
I'm going to ask you guys questions. And remember, folks, this is for charity. I'm going to ask you guys questions. I would just like you each to answer as quickly as you possibly can.
Okay.
Just answer right away. Try not to talk over each
Tommy, we're
other.
starting with
This is
you.
for charity, folks.
Down the line.
You first.
How many members of the band have you seen naked?
1.
3.
3.
5.
0.
2.
Thank you, guys. And remember, this is for kids, charity. If you found out you were a
for
robot,
kids.
would you tell anyone?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd tell everyone.
No.
Thank you, guys.
He's a robot.
Who is your favorite person that's been assassinated?
John F. Kennedy.
No
Franz
repeats.
Ferdinand.
Sam Moody.
For charity.
John Lennon.
Shit, you took mine. MLK.
PJ, your
I'm
answer
gonna, I'm gonna go with Lincoln.
Yeah, easy slam dunk at the end.
That's a lot of money to charity, folks.
Peter Tosh. CIA killed Peter Tosh. Google it.
Daniel Tosh.
What would you like to say to the people at home that have been harmed by your music and to their families?
Stop being soft.
I'm gonna do it again.
Sorry, babe.
Very good. Very fun.
I didn't hurt anyone.
I'm gonna steal your family.
Thank you so much. If there was a vampire in this room right now, how would you kill it?
With my dick.
Big old garlic breadstick.
I'd smash.
Eggs.
Pass.
Whopping penis.
For charity, folks. For charity here. If I gave you a polar bear, you own a polar bear now. What do you do with it?
Give him a little kiss on the forehead.
Consume.
Snuggles.
Cuddle.
Yeah, snuggle/cuddles.
Force him upon my enemies.
Force him upon them.
Wait, even if he doesn't.
Real quick, folks.
It's non-consensual.
Okay.
Real quick, guys. This is for charity. Death row meal, death row crime.
Meal first or crime first?
Meal then crime.
Okay. 1 olive in mass genocide.
I'm gonna say Skyline for manslaughter, personally. Oh, man's laughing.
Frosted Flakes for tax evasion.
Steak for
Aggravated
prostitution.
Chicken wings for illegally owning that polar bear.
7 apples, too many DUIs.
7 apples, 72.
No
All
more,
right,
no less.
All right, last question, guys. This is a yes or no. This is a would you rather for charity.
Yes.
For charity.
Yeah.
Would you rather be able to talk to animals or have the world's biggest dick?
I've already got one, so talk to animals.
That's what I was gonna say.
You can talk to animals? Shit!
The world's biggest dick.
I'm hung like a fucking horse. I'll talk to animals.
I really need a bigger dick.
I'd definitely talk to animals. I feel like there's more utility.
I want to know what my dog is thinking about.
All right, that was
That's for
Max's
charity. Thank you, charity.
Do you guys have
wait,
any-
does any of you guys want to ask us any questions? Any of you? Max, get out the questions
Do
for
you
them to
wipe
ask
your
us here. Yes. Can you ask us? What's so fun?
Max, how big are your nipples?
quarters?
Matt, is your situation under control?
I mean, I'm getting it under control.
Have you guys
Matt, what animal have you always wanted to eat?
Horse.
Matt, why is Cleveland better than Cincinnati?
Cooler people, nicer people, less cool underground punk scene though.
Matt, who is to blame?
All of you for making me stay up this late.
Matt, could you rank Paper Earth cutest? What does that say?
To Uggo. Cutest to Uggo. Shit, that was supposed to be from Max too,
I'll
but you
suck
read
you up
Matt
if you
out loud
put me
and now I have to do it? It didn't even say my name on the thing. Cutest to Uggo. Oh God. That's all the time we have here. It goes Zach, then it goes PJ, then it goes Tommy, then it goes you two and sing. All right, that's all the time we have.
Top 3.
For
Top 3. Top 3.
I think he ranked. I was second.
you was two.
Cleveland's Artist Series interviews. Thank you again, Paper Earth, for
Thank you
coming
so
on.
much.
We love you, and catch you on the podcast.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
I apologize for those offensive rankings. I was really put on the spot there.